the Balance Doctor. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Be sure to subscribe to The Kim Jacobs Show right on YouTube. Turn on your notification bell to all so you never miss a beat. And guess what? Every time you watch, you're going to receive a real relevant and relatable guest that's going to share with you a piece of the puzzle on this journey called life that will help you be able to manage just a little bit smoother. At the end of the day, the Kim Jacobs Show goal is to be able to provide balance to the world, one household at a time.
Kim Jacobs Show. You're watching Kim Jacobs Show.
All right, everyone. Yes, it's the Kim Jacobs Show, and we are here with some of our experts right here on the Kim Jacobs Show. How are you all today, everybody?
Awesome.
Doing
great.
Awesome. We're going to have a great time. And listen, as you all quickly grab your virtual seats, go ahead and let us know where you're chiming in from today. We have an action-packed show ready for you. So we're going to go ahead and get started right away. It's all kinds of stuff that's been happening around the world. And obviously you want to hear from our experts, but then we're also going to have some topics that we're going to give you all a chance to give some feedback on as well. Because we're definitely going to talk today about, let me go ahead and tell y'all in advance, we're talking about these bonnets. We definitely going to have some conversation about these hair bonnets. So get your mind right. Get your opinions in check. Let's go. All right. So let's get started with self-examination first. Let's go right there with you, Dr. Lisa Melvin, our expert on self-examination. And then I think right after that, we might talk a little bit about these bonnets because this is a good place to start. Yeah. What do y'all think? I think so.
Let's go.
Let's examine ourselves. So our expert, Dr. Lisa Melvin, take it away.
Yes. And please feel free. Yes, Lisa is my nickname. Absolutely. I'm so glad to be here with all of you. Happy Friday. As a self-examination expert, we must begin with having the importance of being self-aware. We cannot truly examine ourselves and be honest about where we are personally unless we are self-aware. What does being self-aware mean? I'm so glad you asked. Well, to be objective, we evaluate ourselves, we manage and regulate our emotions, we align our behaviors with our values. That's what it means to be self-aware. So if you don't mind, I want to truly look at self, use myself as an example. Because Kim, I have to keep it real. I have to be real. I was in a place before I could truly examine myself and knew the importance of examining myself. I was lost. I didn't want to hear truth. Beginning with self, it was easier for me to be a chameleon, frankly. I behaved based on the situation, based on who I was around. And what I found was I was struggling with self-worth, self-value, and frankly, just didn't love myself. And it was tough for me to look at myself in that way. But the Lord showed me through some humbling experiences. That's what it took. Let me just continue to keep it real. It's not like I just had this epiphany one day.
Right.
The Lord had to break it down for me, y'all. And show me, no, Lisa, this life is not about you. It's about me. It's about you glorifying me. Y'all, it was so bad that whenever someone complimented me or spoke of an accolade, it was oh, thank you. Never giving credit to him. And I guess he said one day, okay, so you want to continue to take the credit, you're going to make the payments. And that's where the humbling took place. And that's where I learned, whether, Lisa, you are in a conference room or the bathroom, wherever it is you are, you glorify me. It's all about me. And so I love the way you set the tone for the show, because that is the way I have to set the tone in my daily life. It is a process. Okay, please don't think I've perfected this thing. But every day I need to start in not just prayer, but also scripture. where prayer and scripture set the tone for my day, and still, the devil still tries to do what he does, but thankfully he's not in control.
Right.
But I need y'all to understand that every day, especially, can I give you a recent example?
Please.
As we watch what we've learned, what we've been learning as to what transpired in Tulsa. And I know all of you have been following this. As we watch what journalists call misinformation on the news, instead of just saying the word lies, I have these moments where I just don't like people.
Okay.
Now the word tells me I have to love, and so I love. But there are times, y'all, when I have to have real talk with Christ and say, Lord, I need you to help. I need help because, my anger, I get angry about injustice, mistreatment. And the word says it's all right to be angry, just I can't sin in that anger. That's the difference. And so that's what I wanted to focus on this morning with you, because this is so relevant in my life, and I hope some of you can speak to or just say, well, Lisa, I frankly disagree. It is a process, and I'm thankful that He's carried me through these things, because every day it's about being real and looking at whatever the ugliness is, whatever the untruths are. I have to be real enough with self to tell myself the brutal truth as opposed to polite lies. That's what love does. So it starts with self and then with others. But again, self-examination, daily self-examination. And sometimes it's a moment by moment thing where I have to regulate my biases. It's a constant process. And I continue in this process. Does that help a little?
That's very helpful. And I hear your amen cornerback then. I don't know. I think that's Courtney. He said, he a church boy.
Hey,
so
I
he's
was
from
gonna
the
say,
church. He's like,
I can't help but to say something.
This is,
My.
Hey. Yeah.
Is this helpful to anybody?
Amen. I found it very
Absolutely.
helpful and insightful.
Absolutely.
I'm glad. And there's so many different layers to this. Let me see the importance of being self or conducting a self-examination is that self, whether it's okay, today did I have positive self-talk, or in this moment where I'm feeling doubtful or anxious, that's a moment for me to say, wait a minute. He said, do not worry and do not be anxious, but tell your specific requests. No, he didn't. With prayer and petition with thanksgiving, tell your specific requests to him. And so again, that's another example of this process that is extremely helpful, because I do have moments of doubt. I do have moments of being anxious. So it's acknowledging whatever it is in that moment, not letting it linger. But again, that's part of that self-examination process.
That's really good information. Does anyone in the audience relate to what Lisa, she wants us to call her Lisa, what Lisa is saying here on the Kim Jacobs Show? Do you have moments where you have self-doubt, where you're not sure of what you should be doing and what your purpose is and what's life's direction for your life? It's so many different things, but what she's sharing today helps us. If you're going to continue to take the credit, then you need to be willing to make the payments. This is a quote from her, from Dr. Melvin here. She's saying, listen, what is even being self-aware? I think that is a critical question, because if we don't have self-awareness, then it's like, okay, everybody else can see it, but you're the only one that's in the picture frame, like Les Brown says. And it's like, oh, are they talking about me? Yeah, they talking about you, talking about me, because they can see something that we can't see in ourselves. So what advice do you give, Dr. Melvin, for people that have self-awareness issues?
That's a very, very good question. It's about, okay, for me, whoever's giving the advice, they have to be willing to be vulnerable enough with that person to let them know their struggles with it. Because it's easy to say you, or point fingers and say what so-and-so is not. But I don't know if all of you've experienced this. As soon as I do that, people go on the defensive. But when I start with self and I tell them, okay, this is what I've been through, this is what I'm going through. And you don't have to tell all your business. I'm not saying that. But give enough to where that person feels comfortable enough then to say, oh, Well, if you've struggled with that, perhaps then they will open up more. Perhaps then they'll be more inspired to change. But if we're
Right.
carrying ourselves as if we've got it all together, and then we're going to say to this person, wait a minute, you need to do more of this or more of that, and we're not willing to be vulnerable,
Yeah.
because meekness is not equivalent to weakness. Meekness is equivalent to strength.
That's right.
And I do believe that we can reach more people individually and collectively when they see that we are being real with self in front of them. Then they will be more comfortable, I believe, and more willing to change. That's my opinion.
That's a great opinion, one that I support wholeheartedly. Destine Reed says, and she actually is the host of Everyday Kingdom Living, and she says, so true. We must be willing to be vulnerable.
Yes.
Welcome to today's episode too, Destine. Thank you for being on. And make sure you all tag your friends and your family and coworkers. Invite them into the studio, into today's discussion. Happy, faithful, have fun Friday, Lady Kim. It's a pleasure to have you, Lady Justine Hilliard, on today. And anyone else that's joining, if I haven't called your name so far, I'll hear Allison Skeet. Allison Skeet is one of our online financial contributors as well here on the Kim Jacobs Show. And as you can see, you can look below and see different ways to support the show as scrolling throughout the entire episode. Happy Friday, First Lady Kim Jacobs and guests. Yes, thank you so much for being on. Any other questions that you all have for our guest that's here, our expert, Dr. Elisa Melvin? She's our self-awareness expert. Any questions, type them. We'll try to get them answered throughout today's broadcast. Learning to just keep it real. Yes. Whatever is concealed cannot be healed.
Amen.
Yes, yes. And then I see you tagging someone, Tioka. Thank you. And Destine Reed says, thank you. All right, all right. Okay, well, thank you so much. This is some great information that we've already kicked today's episode off with. And I think this is probably a good time for us to go to, let me tell you first of all how to stay connected with Dr. Elisa Melvin. You can email her at femelvin@gmail.com, femelvin@gmail.com, and share your information, share your story with her. And I'm sure she'll keep it real and tell you some feedback. But you can email her and she will respond. And she's one of the experts here on the Kim Jacobs Show. So thank you so much. Let's see who else is chiming in. I can see some more comments coming in. Jackie Spencer says, Jacob had those moments of self-doubt, just like Jacob in the Bible, and God set him free, and he can do the same for you. Wow. Very good point, Jackie. King Spencer, he's been a previous guest here and has struggled with epilepsy. And this man is doing some great things in the acting world, and proud to have you on today. All right. So let's talk about these bonnets for a second, everybody. Anybody that knows, I'm just going to go, and I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I'm going to share what Monique, the comedian, we all love Monique, right? She's a comedian. Everybody knows she's going to tell it like it is. She's going to keep it real, where people, a lot of women consider her, I guess, like in an auntie role or something. And so let's go to what she said on her Instagram page. And wait a minute, get your feedback, because I need everybody to start chiming in and tell us what you think about what Monique is saying. And it's some foul language in here too. So just, I don't know what this is like. Just cover your ears for a moment, because I don't know how to bleep out all of this on this. Here we go. Okay.
Hey, my sweet babies. So
Can y'all hear it?
It took me a minute to say what I'm getting ready to say, because I want to make sure
Can you
I'm
hear?
not saying it in judgment. And I want to make sure I'm saying it from a place of love. Y'all, some of y'all have given me the title of auntie. And I'm honored that y'all do that, right? But there are times where auntie got to talk to her babies and say some real shit. So yesterday, I was in the airport in Atlanta, because I'm in Jackson, Mississippi now at Chuckles Comedy Club, right? And we got 3 shows tonight. We got a matinee at 5:30, then we got 7, then we got 10, right? And I'm excited. I always love going to the stage. So when we got to the airport yesterday, I was excited, like, all right, baby, let's go get him in Jackson, Mississippi. And as we began to walk through the airport, I saw so many, actually too many to count and too many for me to tap. But I saw so many of our young sisters in head bonnets, scarves, slippers, pajamas, blankets wrapped around them. And this is how they're showing up to the airport. And I've been seeing it, not just at the airport, I've been seeing it at the store, at the mall. I've been seeing sisters showing up with these bonnets and headscarves and these slippers. And the question that I'm having to you, my sweet babies, when did we lose pride in representing ourselves? When did we step away of let me make sure I'm presentable when I leave my home? Let me make sure I'm representing the family I created so that if I'm out in the street, I look like I have pride in myself. And I'm not saying no full face of makeup. I'm not saying no full front lace frontal. I'm not saying none of that. All I'm saying is, could you please comb your hair? And if you don't want to comb your hair, they got enough shit out here now, baby, where you can style yourself up and look like you have pride. I'm not saying you don't have pride, but the representation that you're showing, someone would have to ask you to know that you had it. So my sweet babies, for the ones that do call me auntie, I love you for real. Even the ones that don't, I love y'all asses too. But the babies that say auntie to me, please listen to auntie. Always have pride in your representation of you. It's not to get a man. It is just your representation of you,
I'm going to stop there. I'm going to stop there because it's a 5-minute clip, and I was trying to end it where it's as positive as possible, but I want to get your feedback on what you think about women wearing bonnets out in the public. And we all have opinions. So let's see what some people are saying. And again, obviously Monique is saying it from her comedic, she's saying it from her raw for fashion and raw format and her raw language. But the point is that, to my understanding of what I'm interpreting it to mean, is that she's saying, I love you all. I'm grateful to serve in your auntie role. I'm glad that you all admire me, but then take my feedback and apply what I'm saying. Be the queen that you are. Be the person that God created you to be, type of thing is what I'm thinking that's what she means. Somebody else want to chime in?
I do.
Yes.
Well, pride in oneself, and our sister just spoke about self-awareness and self-care. It is always important, always critical. And it's important that we know our worth on every facet of our lives, every aspect of our lives. And since we're talking about the bonnets, there's a place and time for everything. And I don't think that bonnets are appropriate for the airport or in public. But I think the more important role or question is how do these ladies feel about themselves internally that cause them to want to dress like that? I mean, trends come, trends go. We also have the men who walk around with their pants down. I mean, so there's a global awareness that needs to take place as far as taking pride in oneself, in our race, in our culture, in our everything, in every aspect. Now, I do want to put another point in there. If you're going to be a representation of even on a role model, you got to be a role model on every aspect. And that's in your speech too. I'm just going to say it. You have to be a role model. Now, if you want me to follow you, then you're going to have to be the example for me to follow on every level and every platform. You can't just God said this to me one day when
I agree. I agree with that.
Right. When I was acting up one time, God said this to me. He said, you can't be a blessing in one area and then be a curse in another. You're going to have to be consistent. Okay.
I agree with what you, and I wanted to hear if anybody else had a similar comment to what I personally feel as well. And that is what I'm Kim, I'm Kim, not the show itself. Kim's personal take on this is that it's impossible for me to hear something that somebody is saying and they're being very, I don't know the right wording, so I better be very careful. But I think it's important that when we're teaching someone something, that we be mindful of how we're saying it to the people in order for them to even be able to receive what we're saying. But let me say this too. Not everyone receives everything from the same type of people. So where Monique, for example, is able to just share it raw and tell it like it is like that and use some of the vulgar language, it resonates well with the people that are her audience, her nieces or whoever she's referring to. But on my end, if I say something like that, it'd be like, oh, Kim Jacobs said what? That would be a bit much for the people that may follow. And obviously, believe it or not, and this, I don't know why this is the case, but me and my whole Betty Crocker theory over here does not get nearly as many followers and the balance doctor and all of that drama. People like, where the drama? Where the juice? Where the dirt? Where the da-da-da? So it doesn't get as much of that level of a following as someone that would say just like it is and very candid communication, even though that's not what we're talking about. So I'm going to get off the communication piece. Let me just go to this because I wanted to share a couple of views from a bonnet perspective. So let's talk about the bonnet. Okay. Do I wear this? Yes or no?
No.
I'm out. And
no.
What's your take on it?
Absolutely.
Just because I still may have pride in myself, I may still love myself. I'm just out with my head bonnet on.
No.
I can't take you seriously.
Yeah. Can I?
Why not?
From a male.
I mean, I just can't. I feel like I'm channeling my grandma right now. And back in the day, it wasn't bonnets. It was, where's your pantyhose?
So if I'm on this show right now and I say, hey, everybody, welcome to the Kim Jacobs show. And you be like, what?
Right.
Yeah, okay. But let's be clear. This bonnet right here is cute. And it's from a teen entrepreneur. And so if you are going to wear a bonnet at home, like I do, wear this reversible bonnet. And I can give you the teen entrepreneur's information, which she does a beautiful job, by the way, creating these beautiful bonnets. Go ahead. What?
That's cute at home.
Right.
It's very nice at home. Well, at one point, it was the rollers they were wearing out in public. I mean, come on, we just have to represent.
Hey,
well, there are cute bonnets. Let's be clear. Yeah. So this is a bonnet, and if you're out exercising or walking or something, can you wear something like this? This is just like literally like still.
Yes. Yes.
Now, what's wrong with that?
But Kim, I don't think that that's what she's talking about, though.
What do you think she's talking about?
Yeah, I see these all the time. I see people wearing these out. They look nice and presentable. But then you see those floppy bonnets that look like they should be worn at home. I think it's different. It kind of looks like, you're getting ready for bed.
Right.
With that on, you don't look like you're getting ready for bed. I think it all comes down to like how you look. Like how you look. And if you look presentable, people are going to receive you differently than if you have a floppy bonnet like you're getting ready to roll into bed.
Well, these are all good theories and thoughts, but my thing is, who are we to determine what someone should wear?
Exactly.
That's what I'm wondering.
Well,
that's my personal opinion.
I could say this then. I mean, so who's going to determine that we're going to a formal dinner and wearing pajamas? Do we do that? We know when to wear the appropriate attire during the appropriate time. And those bonnets were made for sleeping. The one you have on is a headrest. It's made for going outside. So what is the intended purpose of that? We govern ourselves according to what the standard is, because I am not going to a formal dinner with that bonnet on. We dress according to whatever we're participating in.
Okay. Well, Justine Hillier said the black head wrap is for outside. And then someone else said, she said no to the other head wrap thing. And then someone said good morning. And Monique needs to clean up her potty mouth is what Lady Hilliard said. So she said clean up. Okay. So I mean, again, this is everyone's personal opinion.
That's her brand though. That's just it. Like one person will feel like she needs to clean up her mouth, but that's her brand, you know?
Correct.
So at the end of the day, you got to do what works for you. Like what I do as far as like my eating, like because somebody said eat breakfast at 8 o'clock, I have to eat breakfast at 8. I challenge that. If you know what I mean?
Right.
So,
I agree with what you're saying too, Courtney. From the perspective that everyone has their thing that they do and what they're known for. I did want to take a different little spin on this too, because when I went into my closet, into my drawers, I was looking at all of the different bonnets and stuff, and I was like, okay, you know, this is the other one that everybody see people out in the public with when they just like, look, I'm getting ready to go to a big event tonight. I'm just running to the grocery store and I need to hurry up and pick something up. And I'm not about to let that dew and that mist get down on my hair because so it's like different things. You don't know what a person's going through. Oh, go ahead, Dr. Melvin. Lisa, go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to make sure I didn't chime in to interrupt anyone else's thought. I heard someone say we should know better. Sometimes, y'all, I don't think some people know better. I just don't. And I'm not, and please understand, I'm regulating my biases right now because this is something that I have to work on. When I see a person and they're not dressed in a way that I would dress, this is another one of those examples of me having to regulate my bias. If they approach me and I need to speak with them, then I check my bias and I have to strive to still listen to them. Okay, so I have to, there's a sense of intentionality that comes with that.
Right.
Now, having said all of that, when the 7 of us were growing up, my parents always said, you don't even walk to the mailbox looking any kind of way. So that's my upbringing. And that's who I continue. It's not about anybody else. Yes, I've been married. We're about to celebrate 30 years of marriage. And I'm thankful for that. But I represent Lisa because of Lisa, not just because of Andre, my husband. I'm blessed to have him. But it's a personal pride. Someone used that term earlier. For me, that's the way I was trained. But not everybody has been trained. And I think, again, with love, if we can help train those in our personal lives,
right?
Where the bonnet. My mother always said 2 things. She said, when you answer the phone, this is before caller ID, everybody. She said, when you answer the phone, you always assume that your future employer might be on the other line. So be careful about how you answer the phone.
Right.
She also said the same thing when you show up in public. You never know who your future employer might. She said, if you keep those things in mind, and some may say, well, it shouldn't be about that, but it helped us.
Right. But like you said, that's the training and the upbringing, and everyone comes from different backgrounds, different environments. And I know growing up in the projects that I grew up in, a hair bonnet was okay. It is not anything, and nobody looked at anybody like it was a problem. It was just like, that's how you were out. And it's just like you just running from here, you going across the neighbor's house to grab a cup of sugar. I've gone to people's houses to grab. My mama sent me to go get some sugar. I'm not in my best dress or anything. I'm just out grabbing what my mama told me to get. And if I have my hair bonnet on, I have my hair. But okay, but I do know that there's a time and a place for everything. So I understand that. But let me also share a couple of other school of thoughts real quick. And I'm going to do it in about 2 minutes or less. I'm a church girl, right? Let's be very clear. Because it's so easy to cast judgment on everyone else that's not like you or not like me or whatever the case may be, or like if I don't agree with the language that Monique is using or whatever. But yes, I love Monique too. I think she's wonderful and I think she's a great person. I think she has a lot to offer the world and that she's making a difference in this world. And God has her salt in the earth his own way. That's between her and God what language she decides to use, not up to Kim to make that determination, right? But let me just say this. Now, being a church girl, if people see me like this, right? I'm out here. So now I'm doing something, right? Because I'm in the church. But guess what?
First Lady Kim.
Hey, God bless you, saints. Hallelujah. And guess what? The problem is that not everybody that's not in church even understands this. They like take that off your head. If you're just supposed to be praising God, why you got to wear this on your head? So I have had so many different opinions thrown at me and in my walks of life because of different things that let me give this. different things that, and this one right here is just a hair. It's a hair. It's still the same stretchy spandex material. It's a hair bonnet. That's what this is. It's a hair bonnet with a bow on it. What makes that appropriate? Because I'm going to church now. I'm right. So I wonder what Monique's thoughts would be on something like this that are from all different walks of life, and y'all can chime in. This is beautiful, right? Says who?
Yeah.
From whose perspective? It's all within our own perspectives as to what we think is appropriate and what we don't. And so I just wanted to give some different varying, because all of the hats that I buy personally are, this one right here is from my Aunt Joan. She does hats, bag hats, because those other hats hurt my head. So it's just a hat that I could put on. I can do what I want with it. And then I just put a little fancy piece on it. Well, guess what? At the end of the day, it was still a bonnet initially. You get what I'm saying?
It's a good exercise, Kim. And I appreciate you offering us this perspective, because we all sit from a certain vantage, and many times it's uncomfortable for us to come out of that vantage. And it's really good to do it. It's good to just challenge yourself to think differently. So I appreciate you offering this perspective to us.
Yeah. Well, I hope I helped, because at the end of the day, what I'm saying is that who are we to judge when someone is out? We don't know their circumstances. We don't know their situation. We don't know anything. And so really, it's like, I think if we can just show more people as much love as possible, then the world could just be a better place if possible. That's all I'm saying.
But I'm just going to say this last thing. What is considered love? I mean, telling the truth not love? From, it may be from a different perspective, but
Right.
It doesn't mean that it's not love.
I agree with you on that, because what Monique is saying is from a place of love. You can tell it. You can tell she's sincerely saying, look, y'all, from me being a comedian, I love y'all. I'm your auntie. I'm your girl. I'm your homegirl. Take that mess off your head and get rid of it and stop doing it, because have more self-respect, more dignity, be the queen that you are supposed to be. And if nobody else respects you, respect yourself. I hear her message and I celebrate what she's saying, but it's a catch-22 is all I'm saying.
So Kim, here's my challenge. We are unable. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to share just a brief perspective from an entrepreneur. Anytime I'm out in the public, I'm open. My sign is on. I'm open for business. And somebody made a comment about, what's a future employer gonna think? Well, what's my client gonna think? Is what I'm thinking. If I show up to an appointment to buy a house or purchase some property, and I've got this thing on my head, and so society has, kind of given us guidelines of what's appropriate, especially for business and in public. What you do inside of your home, that's a totally different thing. But we're all judged on our appearance, and there's no way to circumvent that. We're all going to be judged on our appearance, and so we have to appear appropriate, especially if we're in business or if we're working for an employer, we represent them. That's my take on it. I mean, I learned that, when I'm at home and I'm on my own time and I've closed for the day, then I can do whatever I want to do. But if I'm out in public and I'm going for business, then I have to look in a way that's appropriate.
Okay, and you're right. When you go to a workplace or somewhere, you have to wear the uniforms that they give you, and you have to. When you're in Rome, you be as a Roman. You do what you're supposed to do and comply. And so you're not like when I'm in the church and we're wearing our habits. I have to wear my habit with no jewelry and I don't have my son's pin on because it's not a part of what's allowed for the uniform itself. So I do agree that you comply with what's required. And we've had some hearty discussion on it, but I want to go here to a couple of the audience members. It's ghetto, Justine Hillier said, and it definitely depends on how you were taught growing up in Brooklyn, but was taught to always look your best in public. Okay, and then someone said, back in the day, I used to roll my hair, which is Rosalind Malone said, I used to roll my hair, but don't let me have to go back out to the store. I would take all my rollers out where where that come from. And I don't recall we were going to church at that time. I was perhaps maybe it was perhaps personal preference, but the judging of others is real. Yes, it is. It really is. My mom said, "Oh yeah, I like the pink and the black bonnet." Huh? She said, "Can you take those off and give them to me after the show?" Mom, you can have the pink bonnet.
She
I'm
said,
keeping
"I
the
approve
black one.
that." She said, "I approve these. These is gonna work for me."
Yeah, she wearing them to church on Sunday. Okay. And I mean, obviously we wear them to church. Okay, let's see. Me too. Justine Hillier said me too. All right, here, Tioka, I'm gonna pull you back in. All right. I hope I didn't miss anybody's comments, because a lot of comments were coming in, and I knew that would spark a lot of conversation. And and everybody gave their feedback. So that's good. All right.
Excuse me, Kim. I just wanted to say that that's where I was going with where Greg just went about people. The reality is, in our society, people make judgments, and you know what? If we're all going to really and truly keep it, we all make judgments. You know, I met a few people recently who said they don't have any biases, and I said, "Well, bless your heart." No, yeah, you do.
The lie and the truth ain't in you, according to we have all sinned. We've all sinned. None of us have not been without sin at all. And if we say we have no sin, which is current present tense, then we are liars, and the truth is not in us.
Right.
See, Monique can pull this little clip that I'm saying and be like, why she got to keep talking about the word of God? Every time she's saying something out of her mouth, she keep trying to quote some scriptures. So guess what? Everybody can look at somebody else and be like, she need to cuss more so she can get some more viewers. I mean, you know, it's all relative, depending upon who's coming from. You get what I'm saying?
Right. And having said that, where judgment is concerned, I disagree with people who are making judgments and they look at a person and then they treat them based on the way they look.
Right.
Why I disagree with it, but it is our reality. And my hope is that everybody is going to be treated well. And so whatever that looks like for us, I want to be treated well when I go out.
I do too.
And whatever, and at the same time, if there's someone again who isn't dressed like me, I'm still going to go out to make sure that I treat them well.
Right, I agree.
That's
agree.
Very
Greg,
good.
were you trying to say something else? Okay, I thought somebody said backstage you were trying to say something. Did anybody else have any comment? We're going to go on to the next topic. If not, okay. All right. So today's episode, everyone, is sponsored by Snow Legal Group. And if you have not learned more about the Snow Legal Group, I would love for you to take a moment to learn now. Let me introduce them to you by showing you their commercial, and then I'll come back and give you their contact information. Let's learn more about them now.
I'm attorney Kenneth D. Snow, and at the Snow Legal Group, justice is our job.
For more than 20 years, Attorney Snow has been fighting for justice and winning cases in the Carolinas by providing aggressive representation in criminal defense, domestic violence, family law, serious injury, and wrongful death. If you've been injured or lost a loved one in an accident, including tractor trailer or rideshare, you need the Snow Legal Group by your side, fighting for justice and fighting for you. Visit snowlegal.com. Call 704-358-0026 for a free virtual consultation. Located at 6827 Fairview Road, Suite D in South Park.
All right, everyone, we are back here on the Kim Jacobs Show. And again, our episode sponsor is Snow Legal Group with snowlegal.com. And I did put their information right there for you all to be able to later go back and reach out to them. They're willing to give a free consultation to you if you reach out to them and let them know that the Kim Jacobs Show did send you their way. And I want to make sure that I give you their phone number now. Their phone number is 704-358-0026, and their email is info@snowlegal.com. They're in the Charlotte and surrounding areas, as well as in the South Carolina area. So thank you for being one of today's episode sponsors, Snow Legal. All right, let's go now to Vicki Evans. Go ahead, Vicki. Tell us some stuff. I done sidetracked us with the bonnets, but I think we're going to get it all in. Tell us some tips.
Hello, everyone. I think I've said a lot already this morning, but hello, and happy Friday. Hello, June. I always describe myself as a woman that wears many hats, and today I got my summer hat on. I'm ready for the summer. Let the summer begin.
Yes.
So today I want to talk to you about kind of in the self-awareness vein as well. And my topic today is, what about your friends? Let's talk about our friends. Yeah.
Good.
So last night I was having a conversation with one of my friends, and we were talking about our friendship. And in the conversation, we began to realize just how different we really are. We handle situations different. We handle conflicts different. And so it just led me to this topic today. What about your friends? And I want to talk to you based on a message I heard from Bishop T.D. Jakes. And he was talking about the different types of friends. You know, the Bible tells us in order to be a friend, we have to show ourselves friendly. So let's talk about what kind of friends. And I want to talk to you about 3 different types. The first one is the confidant. And these are people who are around you because they are into you. They buy into you as a person and therefore are willing to be by your side, whether you're up or down.
Yes.
In victory or defeat. Whether you're right or wrong, they still, like the sister said, I'm still going to love you as my friend. I may not agree with you, but I'm going to love you. And so that is the confidant. They are, however, wise enough to know they're going to tell you when you're wrong now. That's me. That's the kind of friend I am. I'll tell you, but they're going to love you through it. And they're going to help you through it and be supportive through it. So that's the first kind. And when I think of confidants, I think of the song, That's What Friends Are For. Keep smiling, keep shining, knowing that you can always count on me for sure. That's what friends are for. For good times, bad times, I'll be on your side. How long? Forevermore. Forevermore. That's what friends are for. And then there's another song, and you know, I'm putting these songs in here because this month is also Music Appreciation Month. And I am just one of those people. I love music. I absolutely love it. I grew up with it. And as an adult, I go out on my walks and got my music in. So I threw some of these songs in it as a way to show you that we can appreciate the music and lyrics that we hear every day. And so Carole King wrote, you just call out my name. This is what a confidant does. He says, and you know, wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. When? Winter, spring, summer, or fall. All you have to do is call and I'll be there. You got a friend. So that's a confidant. And so the next set of friend is the type of friend is a constituent. Now, on the other hand, those who are around you, they are around you because they are for what you are for. I support what I'm right there. I support your cause. I support what you do. They are people pursuing the same destination that you are pursuing, are going to the same place you are going, and are therefore traveling the same path you are traveling. And they are only with you, check this out, because you both have the same destination and the same mind, not necessarily because they love you as a person. So that's, yes, it's important to know who your friends are and what type of friends you have. And so these type of friends, they are trendsetters. They are high achievers. They're goal setters. Can you help me get to the top, people? That's why they're with you, because they feel that you can help them get to the top. And so there's a scripture that I want to put with that, 1 Thessalonians 5:12, and it says, and we beseech you, brethren, to know them who labor among you. It's important to know who's around you, what their purpose, why are they there, what's their why, what's their what, why are they your friends? So that's why I'm addressing this today. And then the final one is your comrades. Now these are people, they are against what you are against. They are those who are around you because you share the same enemy. They are only with you to see the greater enemy fall. As T.D. Jakes describes it, they are like...
It's too much feedback. Hold on. Hello? Okay, yeah, okay. It's you know what, when it's too much feedback right there, so let me see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a quick commercial break, and I'm going to have you come right back in the studio, Vicki, and we're going to carry back on. So once she comes back in the studio, everyone, we will have Vicki pick up with her points. Is that okay with everyone? I'm saying, is that okay with everyone? It's like, Kim, I think you've already made that decision, huh? Okay. So anyway, what we're going to do at this point is we're going to take a quick commercial break again, learn about someone that's doing something that's a transition from one industry, totally different industry, to a new industry. And it's actually kind of mind-blowing. So let's learn more from this gentleman right now. One of today's episode sponsors, but I'll talk more about him right after this break.
What's up, y'all? It's Greg Moore, founder of You Can Flip Houses Academy. Listen, I'm often asked the question, how did you get started flipping houses? Listen, I played for the Patriots in the NFL, and in the game against the Browns, I had a career-ending injury. I was devastated, but I used the money from my rookie season. I bought a house, I flipped it. Fast forward to today, and I flipped over 300 properties, man. And listen, I teach people just like you how to do the same. Join me in my academy at youcanfliphouses.com, and I'll see you on the inside.
All right, everyone. So we are back. And yes, one of our episode sponsors today is none other than Greg Moore. And I'm going to share his information with you. You can fliphouses.com. You can fliphouses.com. And make sure that you let him know that the Kim Jacobs Show did send you his way. We're going to hear more right now from Greg Moore. And now I take pride in having a show that's rated kind of PG type of thing and G. And now I'm like, oh gosh, I don't put the whole language up on the show. That's why let me just end the video now, because I didn't know all of the language that was going to be in there. I'm like, oh gosh, Malia's on here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and let you take it away, Greg Moore. And I see you, Malia, over there too.
Say hi, Malia.
Hi.
All right,
Hi.
guys.
She's like, I don't want to talk to you anymore, Kim. You got foul language on your show. Okay, go ahead, Greg.
It's a pleasure, man. I want to first thank you, Kim, for having me on the show again, and also the other guests that share some very powerful, impactful information. I'm going to talk again today about the state of real estate, man. I'm so excited. It's been a crazy week for me, as you can imagine, but I have 4 offers, 2 that have been accepted, and I've got 2 more that are pending, and it's on land, vacant land, and that's the trend right now. As everybody's looking for houses, and you know that building materials are very high right now, and builders just aren't building, right? And so the people with this land, they're hurting right now, and they just want the cash. So I'm being able to pick up some very prime lots in some resort locations, really for pennies on the dollar. And so I'm going to keep a portion of those, and then I'm gonna flip a portion of those as well. The ones that I'm gonna keep, I plan to build 2 structures. One will be a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and then the other a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, and they'll both be in this mountain resort community. And purchase this land. I'm getting it. I mean, the land's valued at about 80 grand. I'm able to negotiate these prices all the way down to around $15,000.
Wow.
On $80,000 land property. And so with these resort communities, you get horses, stables, you get tennis courts, you get a racquetball course, you get golf, a 21-hole golf course, you get lakes for canoeing, a river, and the one that I
Wow.
purchased last week has a waterfall, right? So I have access to to a waterfall that's on property that I own. And so that's the trend now. That's what I'm harping on my students to find some lots, even if they're not ready to build. We can actually flip those lots for some big profits and quickly too, because all of those deals will be cash deals. And so I'm very excited. The academy is going well. Kim, you mentioned it. Got some new students in this week. Some of them from this show. And so I offer almost a giveaway deal for your listeners, Kim, to come and join me. It's something like 44 cents a day. Hopefully we can put the link up because I'm still going to offer that. This will probably be the last week that I offer that to your listeners and your viewers, but they can actually come and get involved, and I'll mentor, partner, and teach them just how to flip like I do.
Wow. Okay. That's excellent. We're going to put this link right here in the comment section. And how inexpensive is it for people to join the academy?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. For your listeners only that are watching this program and are affiliated with you, I think it's $167 for the entire year. And what you get every week is me live teaching you strategies on how to do just what I do. I had my good friend and colleague Jerry on this week, and he shared some
Yeah.
information about fear. And a lot of times, man, that's what holds people back is they're just afraid to get out there and talk to people. But that's how these deals get done. I got a referral this week from a realtor friend of mine. She's actually putting in some offers for me on some property that's listed. And then she said, "Hey, I know a couple that may fit your program. They own a property here in Georgia, but it has some condition issues. It needs some repair, and so they want to capitalize on this equity bubble and get that money out now. But they can't do that, and she wouldn't list it for them because of its condition. And so I'm meeting with them later today. Probably pick up that property for around 60K and flip it for around the value is about 175. So that's ultimately like $100,000 deal that I'm going
Wow.
on the appointment for this afternoon. So I'm excited about that. Excited about the 4 offers on land that I've got in this week, 2 that were accepted. And so it's a busy, hectic time, but I'm enjoying.
That's incredible. Listen, you guys can join the academy by going to youcanfliphouses.com. And even if you feel like, oh, he's already in the middle of the academy, you can still join in, and all of the modules and everything are still available to you. And you're going to learn something every single week that Greg Moore goes live. So thank you so much, Greg, for being here today and for your expert advice. Let's go. Hey, Malia. Okay, thank you. Malia, forgive me for putting the language. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Oh, gosh. Oh, please come back on the show. Okay, listen. So see, you do care what other people think, right? I care what other people think. Even a child, I care what a child thinks. Good gracious. Okay, Vicky, let's go back to you because you were saying something really profound. You said that there are different types of friends. You talked about the confidant, the constituent, and I still hear an echo. Okay. But I want to make sure that we go back and hear that final friend that you were talking to us about. So let's see if we can get you clear enough to hear. Let's go ahead and see if we can get that last friend in.
All right. How do I sound?
Perfect. Yes.
Okay, that last friend. So we talked about the constituent. We talked about the confidant, the constituent, and the last one is the comrade. The comrade, they are those who are around you because they are against what you are against. They are those who see their perspective is to share the same enemy. They are only with you to see the greater enemy fall. As
Wow.
yes. As TD Jakes describes it, they're like scaffolding that is put in place up in a building. Once the building is done, the scaffolding is removed. Only the
Wow.
enemy is down. The once the enemy is down, the comrades leave. That's all they care about. It's the enemy. They're like those friends described in the lyrics. Y'all know that song we raised up in church. Got my war clothes on in the army. They got their war clothes on. They are ready to fight at any given cause. They are ready, always ready.
You start having their church now. Don't you get started with that church. We had church right here. You heard Kim say she was a church girl. You gotta don't you start that.
Yes.
At the end of the show. At the end of the show.
War clothes on. Yes, that friend is always good, always down for a good fight. Like protesters. Where's the protest? Here I am. I'm ready. Let's do it. Let's get this enemy right now. So those are the three: the comrades, the constituent, and the confidants, which I like the confidants the best. But at some point in your life, you're going to need one of those friends, one of those types of friends.
Yeah, sometimes our friends might be all of them in one.
Oh, Lord. But you're going to need that at some point in your life. The catch is to know which friend to use at what time.
Wow.
Yes, be wise enough to know, and be wise enough to know who your friends are. What type of friend of you? I want to ask you that question. So
Wow.
I hope that this will help you when you can't put all your friends and lump them in one pot. When I was talking to my friend last night, that's what I realized. She's not me. I'm not her. We all have different views. We have different personalities. Doesn't make neither one of us right or wrong. We just different.
I love that advice. Great advice. VickiLEvans.com, our expert that's helping us with overcoming domestic violence and gracefully broken and all of the things that she's working on. VickiLEvans.com. You definitely want to stay connected with her plays and performances, and just the energy that she brings to the world. So continue to wear those many hats, Vicki, and we'll see you again right here on the Kim Jacobs Show on an upcoming episode, because you're one of our experts, so we appreciate you. All right, we have Courtney and Tioka. How are you guys?
Doing really good. Thank you for having me.
So which one of y'all want me to put you in a bubble first? On the front?
I'll go first because Courtney can go a while.
Oh, okay.
No. Let me. So this is really all about Tioka. She's an amazing person. She's inspired so much. And she is a founding member and a strategic partner with Courtney Wellness Companion. And I just wanted her to just share a little bit about her journey and also what she's doing as a paparazzi queen that she is. And she's really just helping a lot of people to feel better in a time, in a pandemic where a lot of people don't feel well. So that's really all I got to say. Everybody knows who I am. You saw me the whole time I was doing planks and walking and drinking water. So I have nothing to say besides, Tioka, go ahead and say what you got to say.
All right.
I'm out.
Drop the mic. Okay. So Tioka, come talk to us here.
So first of all, I want to say I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That's Philippians 4:13. My journey actually started long time ago. My whole story started a long time ago. And I'm going to give a little snippet of that because I think it's important. Today, we call Fearless Friday. So sharing is caring. And I know that's how we help other people overcome. So my journey started back in 2019. I got married. I was really excited. It was, you fall in love, you get married, and you think that it's going to be the best. And it started out that way, but it didn't end that way. I was married to someone who was addicted to crack cocaine. And for the longest time, it took me a while to share that. But God has spoken to me and said, I need to share that to show other people that you can overcome from that. During that time, I was blessed with a daughter who was born with a missing heart valve. She has George syndrome. It's one of those things where at the time that she was diagnosed, there wasn't that much information about it. And so I was kind of juggling two things here, raising a daughter and also trying to help and support someone who was trying to overcome an addiction. And that marriage lasted 15 years. And at that time, God spoke to me and said, hey, it's time, because I became an enabler. But the reason why I share that portion, I don't share that for sympathy. I share that because that's actually what kind of got me to Courtney at a time that I really, really, truly needed help. I had taken care of someone or people, because I take care of my daughter too, but I've taken care of people for so long that I forgot myself in the process. Wow. And when they say you can't pour from an empty vessel.
That's right.
Oh my goodness. So, I've had illnesses that have impacted my heart. And I don't have a heart condition, but just stress, not focusing on caring about myself, not drinking water. The simple things, not eating healthy, not eating at all. I've battled depression in the past, but I thank God that I've come through that. I've battled anxiety. I've come through that. But Courtney came on my live. I go on live on my page on Facebook just to chat, and I do that. And I don't do it for business. I do it to connect with people because I like people. And this pandemic has really proven how much I love people, because I miss people's faces.
Yes.
And all that. But I was on live one night and I was just randomly chatting, and Courtney had come on, and I actually know y'all's family just from church from back in the day. I don't know you individually, but I know Pastor Jacobs, I knew him, just through family and going to church and everything. And so, somehow we friended each other, but he came on my live and he was talking, and I'm thinking in my head, oh my goodness, he's just on here just to remind me that I'm out of shape and I'm not healthy. But behind the scenes, I was dealing with sleep apnea. I literally would wake up in the morning and feel like death. I just felt like I was dying. I wasn't getting any sleep. I was in a fog. I'm trying to balance my business and also training a team of almost 100 people, and also caring for my daughter, who, thank God, she's 21. The doctor said she wouldn't live past the age of 10. She's 21. She turned 21 this year. Praise God. But
to God be the glory.
Yes, amen. So I got to a point where I was like, I have to do something. And God spoke to me, and Courtney was there. So I remember reaching out to him. I was like, he's going to think I'm crazy, because I'm in his inbox like, I need help. But since that time, and it's been what, Courtney, like 2 months, 3 months?
Well, I think you started April the 15th. So from April the 15th to now. So that's about a month and a half.
Yeah, it is crazy, but the time has gone by so fast. But since I started, I learned how to just focus on me, like to focus on my self-care, and also about the way I feel. I don't focus on the scale, although I've lost 13 pounds. I'm really excited about that.
I lost 13 pounds too, but nobody act like they noticed. I'm like, I know y'all see under my arm and back in my back and different parts of my body. People act like they don't know. I'm like, I lost 13 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody
better recognize.
We
Girl,
can see
listen,
it.
You got to scream it. You got to put it on your Facebook story and everything. They got to see it.
Everybody can see it because you broadcast it. And Kim is also a founding member and a strategic partner with Courtney Wellness Companion. So I've been telling people lately, if you get too close to me, you might get healthy. I'm just gonna tell you, you might have to go shopping to get a new wardrobe. You might have to figure some things out because some things are gonna happen. But go ahead, Tioka.
Well, let me say this too. My Ty says Tioka is a star. Thank you for sharing your story. She also said, yay, congratulations. You look great, both of you. All right, everybody that's on, make sure you stay on with us just for a few more minutes, because we are going to all close out together and we don't want to miss any part of Tioka's story. Go ahead.
Okay, so anyway, connected with Courtney, and I'm glad Mai's on here too, because she's really helped a lot by just sharing recipes. But I don't go through my day, and this is first time ever, because I lost a lot of weight before. I used to be a size 22, and thank God I'm not back there. But I don't go through my day focused on, oh my gosh, I gotta focus on losing this pound, or oh my gosh, I have to focus on working out. It's become a lifestyle change for me. And so I'm able to work my business and just go through the motions of just implementing these small changes that have weighted heavily on my life and how I feel. I woke up this morning pumped. I didn't have to struggle to get out of bed, which is something that I did prior to meeting Courtney. And I feel good. And I love the fact that he promotes, just going on how you feel. So if I get up and like I'm aching and I can't like do my full workout, he's like, do what you can and move on. If your body's telling you a different story, go with what your body's telling you. And I love that. And it's helped me be more present, in my life and my business. It's helped me be more focused and strategic in what I do. And I've also, I share it. I'm in the business of sharing. I have a jewelry business. So, when we were talking about the bonnets, I'm sitting there like, now I understand that like we have our own opinions. And I think it's really important. It's important to know that like we do judge, even though we don't want to, it's in the back of our mind. I think it all comes down to how we communicate things. Communication is very, very important.
Yes.
But I do think it's important to tell someone, and they may not accept it well, but if you know that someone's like injuring themselves, like, hey, stop that. Stop injuring yourself. And here's the benefits. And if you choose to do it, that's fine. If you choose not to do it, that's fine. I'm going to love you anyway.
Regardless, right.
But as your sister, as someone who loves you, I'm going to tell you. And I come from a management background. So I used to manage 200 people in a call center that did technical support. And I know that as an employer, I would look and see different things that were presented from people that wanted a job. And even though I didn't want to interject my own opinion, it just happens. And so, you kind of like lose focus based on what you see, and you have to teach yourself not to do that, but it is a process. But I say, why go through that? I sell $5 jewelry. It's very, very easy. You either want it or you don't. If you like to wear earrings, that's fine. You don't have to wear a bunch of jewelry. If you just want a hair clip, I got you too. But I love the fact that with my business, I can help accessorize someone and help take care of the outside, but I also can pour into them and help them on the inside too by sharing my story and helping them grow and overcome. So I just thank you for allowing me to be here to share a portion of my story today, and I hope it helps somebody.
And that's where
I want you to come back too, Tioka, and we'll start the next Friday with you two. Okay, we'll start next Friday when we go back again. We'll start off on the show with you guys. Okay. Versus my hair bonnet. All right, Courtney, what were you going to say?
No, I was going to say, and that's where she's different. It's like many people when you go to a restaurant, you like the food, obviously, but you kind of go back to a place where you like the people. I don't know if anyone else is like that. The service, and you get the chance to know the people that are working there. And that's kind of the difference with Tioka. It's like, not only is she selling what she's selling, because we're all kind of selling something, but it's her as a person. And if you get around her, you're just going to be happier, or you're going to be more positive, or she's going to help you in some way. Like she's just organically helped us with technical stuff. And she's just like, if you go around her, she's going to help you in some way. And that's, when you do business with people, that's what you want. Like you can go buy a car from anybody, but it's special when you have a relationship with somebody that will go above and beyond. Like we used to buy cars from a specific dealership, and they did a lot of community stuff, and they just did a lot more. You know what I mean? So it makes it more special. And that's, like she said, either you want the jewelry or you don't. But if you're going to buy the jewelry from a real gem like Tioka.
Wow, that's really great compliment.
Thank you so much.
Let's put Tioka back up again. And Tioka, her website is Queens Rock Ice. So for all the podcast listeners that's not able to see the screen, it's www.queensrockice.com. Queens rock that ice.
Bling, bling, bling.
I have so much paparazzi jewelry.
Make them sing.
One of my Mother Dreamer members is also a paparazzi specialist, and so I buy stuff from her all the time. But queensrockice.com. It's only $5, y'all. Can you put a 5 in the comments? A 5 in the comments. Listen, we're going to be off today's episode by 1:15. 1 hour 15 minutes. Yeah, by 12:15 because I'm I'm going to close out, but I need to also just make sure that I tell you guys, we've gone a few minutes longer because I took up some of that time with the bonnet. I had to put the bonnets in there today, y'all. So thank y'all for staying on with me.
That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun, Kim. That was a lot
it?
of fun.
I'm like, Kim, I done took up the whole episode talking
No,
about
it was good. It was good. The engagement was there. It was really good. Nice job.
Oh, thank you, Courtney. You're so complimentary.
100.
And who wouldn't want to be around Courtney Jacobs? And who wouldn't want to be a part of Courtney Wellness Companion? He's gonna make sure you drink that water. Right now, I was like, oh man, I have all kind of bottles near me. I'm like, drink, Kim, drink the water, drink the water. And you see what I'm drinking it in. I watch the Kim Jacobs Show, which is right on KimJacobsShow.com. Y'all should be drinking your water in that cup.
Yes,
it
indeed.
is water. That's what I'm drinking. All right, everybody, listen, let me introduce you to one more episode sponsor today. Things happen that are beyond our control, and we don't know. It's sometimes no fault of our own or of your family members, especially if somebody's passed away in an accident. You want to make sure that you have someone that can represent you thoroughly. Attorney Charles Everidge and Hunter Law Firm, they can take care of you if you're in the Charlotte or in the Richmond area. Let's learn more about them real briefly, and we're going to close out real soon here.
When someone has lost a loved one, they want to know what exactly happened. They want to know, is the other person going to be held responsible? And they want closure. At Hunter and Everidge, we help clients that have lost a loved one move on, and to do that with dignity and respect that they deserve.
Thank you so much, Attorney Everidge and Hunter Law Firm. And let me share with you how you can reach out to them. Again, this is our episode sponsor, so they're taking the time to sponsor the Kim Jacobs Show, and we don't take it for granted, and we are very grateful for all of our sponsors. You can reach them at 704-377-9157, 704-377-9157, and let them know that the Kim Jacobs Show sent you their way. If you're dealing with injury and disability, make sure you reach out to them. Any closing comments, everybody? We're getting ready to close out today's episode, but I want to make sure I give you a chance to say your closing comments. Anybody? And let me also let you all, while you're preparing, if anybody's going to say something, let me know. Just put your hand up. Okay, go ahead, Tioka.
Just don't forget yourself in the process and be okay with that. That's all.
Excellent. Courtney?
I was going to just say, just be very mindful and, just watch the judgment. I thought that segment that you did, Kim, I thought that was powerful. And I just thought it was a good challenge for all of us. None of us are perfect, but it's always good to try not to judge and think, try to think out of yourself. Don't always think from your vantage points. I appreciate you doing that.
Okay. Thank you. Vicki?
I also wanted to say that it's okay to have preferences. There was a comment made, not all having preferences is not a bad thing, and we all are different. So it's okay to have preferences. It's okay to have your own, as Kim said, it's okay to have biases too. It's okay. That's what make you who you are.
That's a good point. Lisa?
Yes, and first of all, I'm just so thrilled to be in the presence of all this brilliance. I learned so much today. And just to say to everyone that if we all take a moment every day or moments to examine ourselves, if we're all doing that, boy, this world would be a much better place, because that would certainly help regulate our biases and our judgments.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so these are some really great comments that you all have shared. Y'all are experts to the core, and I'm so grateful to have each of you on today. And I do want to take a moment to let everybody know that all of us know about Milli Vanilli. We've all heard the story about Milli Vanilli. Well, the singer behind the Milli Vanilli, which people don't always know about, is John Davis. He passed away at the age of 66 this week. So he's the one that was the voice behind Milli Vanilli. Okay. And so I just want to make sure that we pray for his family and everything. Anytime people are transitioning from this world to their eternal resting place. I just want to acknowledge and give a chance to just say something. We'll put links up too to let you know of some different things that you can stay connected to. We know the Tulsa Race Massacre 100 years ago was marked 100 years ago. And the oldest living survivor, Viola Fletcher, told her story to Congress. We're going to put that in the links for you guys to be able to go back and review that. Go ahead, Vicki.
I was just going to say that in September in Matthews, North Carolina, I'll give you more information. One of the playwrights that we chose from our BIPOC play festival, he is doing the story of that. It's called Greenwood. So he's doing the story of the Black Wall Street Massacre. So that would be a great opportunity to come out and learn more about that.
Well, please, on the Freestyle Fridays, keep us up to date with the information so we can post it and share it with people, because that's going to be really very important to share with people. And also 2 firefighters were shot. One killed by off-duty colleague in LA County Fire Station 81. And the suspect also barricaded himself in a home and then set his own home ablaze as well. So these are things that's just happening in the world that I do want us to just keep in mind. We put all of this here so that you can go back if you wanted to have one location throughout the week on Freestyle Friday to be able to say, where can I kind of get some updates as to what's going on in the community and around the world. You can go right here and click on some of these links. There are some fabulous, famous women who are pregnant right now. We're going to put all of those women right on this link as well, and you'll be able to go back and look at that. So obviously, I spent a lot of time today on the bonnets, but I definitely have. And thank you, Rachel, for pulling all of these highlights together. And we are going to definitely have those here for you to be able to review throughout this weekend. On Monday, we look forward to having you back here on the Kim Jacobs Show at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have all new episodes for you next week. You don't want to miss one. I'm telling you. The whole goal of the Kim Jacobs Show is to help provide you with that one little missing piece of the puzzle that might be missing in your life. The guests that come on here help do just that by allowing us to bring balance to the world, one household at a time. So please tune in on Monday at 11 o'clock a.m. Anybody, you're like, oh man, I forgot to say this. Tiyoko, anybody going once, going twice, going to All right, Courtney, thank you. You keep bringing wonderful people on this show, and I appreciate it. And look forward to seeing all of you on Monday. Have a wonderful weekend. And if you're doing graduations and things like that, there's a lot of graduations happening. I've had several nieces graduate. I'll be posting some pictures. Courtney, you want to say anything real quick about your daughter graduating?
No, yeah. I'm just humbly proud of her and her accomplishments and what she's been able to do. And she's just an awesome person.
Absolutely.
So very, very, very proud father.
All right, everybody. And I'm a proud auntie. Okay, everybody. Thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you Monday here on the Kim Jacobs Show. Thank you to all of our experts. You guys are amazing. And thank y'all for staying with me until the end. All right, guys. Have a great one, everybody.
Thank you,
everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Dr. Melvin, Vicki. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kim Jacobs, host of the Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance to the world, one household at a time. Listen, we go live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I bring guests on that talk about their backstories, things that they've had to overcome to become who they are today. Many of them are balancing and juggling life, and they've become experts in different fields. So they're sharing tips with you to make your life just a little bit easier. Many times as a guest in the studio audience, you'll get a chance to walk away with a missing piece of the puzzle that might be missing in your life. Let's go on this journey together, and I look forward to seeing you Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Kim Jacobs Show.